Hey kids, it's Mr. Hammond, and we're going to talk about how to plan out your mutant or yourself as a mutant. So we're going to have you start by writing the title at the top. Myself. The mutant. Remember, the world has changed and you have to mutate. So here's the idea behind this. When we talk about what's going on, it's kind of the idea that the world has broken down. So there's no longer really grocery stores. Civilization as we know it really isn't there anymore. We haven't gone back to caveman times, but we've definitely gone back to more prehistoric-like ideas where we have to go out and find our food. So you want to think more animalistic. You've become more of an animal in this case. So now we're going to go ahead and divide the paper up into 4 rows. So to do that, you need to count up, draw a line on the top blue line, and then count the number of lines you have and divide that by 4. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 25. So divide by 4, that's about 6. So every 6 lines, I'm going to draw a line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you have 25 lines, you'll be doing about the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that leaves me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. All right, so the first thing you have to identify is what's going to be the change to your ecosystem, and then what challenges does that present to you as an organism. So first one is changes to ecosystem. So I'm going to write that, change to ecosystem, colon. So my changes is my ecosystem, and is what I came up with. My ecosystem has become flooded with water. I think is what I picked. Has become flooded with water. Sorry if my handwriting's a little messy, but the tripod's in the way. And is now a swamp. So Mr. Hammond's area, I now live in a swampy area. So what are some of the challenges that could be presented to me? So I'm going to write down challenges next. And you could bullet point these or just write them in a list. I'm just going to do a list. The challenges I thought about was, one would be dealing with all that water, like how to live in an area that's so watery. So I'm going to put staying dry, but I'm not actually going to be worried so much about staying dry. But how do I live in an area where I'm going to be surrounded by water so much is what I'm looking towards. The other one is movement. Like, how do I move in the water? Because these legs would not be as useful in a swampy environment. And the third way is I need something that's going to help me obtain food. So obtaining food would be difficult. In this case, I'm going to put prey. All right, so that's basically my challenges, and I looked those up online. I looked up challenges for animals in a swamp. I looked up some animals in the swamp and what were the challenges they faced. I did a little internet research for this, and that's kind of what I came up with. Those are some of the things that popped out. Next, what I've got to decide is what are some of the adaptations I want myself to have now that I live in this swampy environment, considering I'm going to have to be able to catch food, and then probably cook it too. My first one I looked at is I actually looked at a crocodile because I thought those were pretty cool. And I looked at alligators too and stuff. But what I came up with, number 1, was scaly skin. Okay. So this will help me actually look this up, and it helps prevent loss of water. So that means the water within the body stays within the body of the crocodile, and that scaly skin helps keep it there. It also protects. It protects and helps movement in water. By reducing friction. So it does a lot. Scaly skin, super helpful. My second adaptation that I think I'm going to go after, and you may have guessed this one, is webbed feet. I don't think I want to give up having arms and legs. So this would be my next best one. Helps my swimming speed in the water, but also allows me to walk on land. And some of this is brainstorming about what I know, but also some of this is I just looked it up. I looked up adaptations in a swamp, and I came up with some ideas that way. Okay, my third and final adaptation I think I'm going to be doing is going to be, and this is, again, it's a crocodile one, eye location. I'm going to put eyes on my back. So when I swim, I can see it. When I swim, I can see my surroundings. Because I'm thinking as I swim through the water, I won't have to keep my head up. I can keep my head down, submerged under water, and the only thing I can have out is my eyes. I think it'll also help me sneak up on prey. All right, so doing this is super important. It does take some effort, some imagination, and some thinking, and a little bit of research on the internet, but this is a super important part, and it'll be worth a good portion of your grade. So make sure that you do a good job on this, and really think about these things. If you pick something you're not very familiar with, then make sure you do a little research. Look for some animals that have that, read about that, and see how it helps them, because that's how it's going to help you. So those are my three.